Pause and read the question. After watching this video, write the article and get assessed from Netrinz Cambridge Academy. Check in the description box for the contact details.
In the school at which Miss Rodriguez is the head teacher. Miss Rodriguez has decided to tackle bad behavior at your school. Recently, there have been some very serious incidents, and she has decided to launch a new scheme that has proved successful elsewhere. She has sent a letter to parents outlining the scheme and has also invited comments from students. Read the letter to parents, which is printed on the opposite page, and consider the comments of two classmates which follows it. Write an article for the school magazine in which you highlight the advantages and disadvantages of the proposed scheme. You should base your ideas on the letter to parents and on the students' comments, and add your own ideas and comments based on the reading material. Remember that you are trying to influence your fellow students.
First, we obviously was given in the question. As you just saw that there was a starter given, you start with exactly the same. Thesis statement, you introduce the topic. Okay, the thesis over here will be school court. What is the definition of a school court and what is the aim behind it will be your thesis. Okay, then you write both-sided opinions. You write the opponent's opinion, your opinion, both-sided opinions in your writing, and conclude leaving it upon schools and audience as to which parameter do they have to support. Because like you just saw in the question, they are very clearly saying you have to give about benefits as well as demerits, both. You do not have to talk about any one side, you got to discuss on both the sides. So that's exactly the parameter that you have to go for. It's a 40 marks question in paper 2. Very clear with the rules? There, please write. While you are noting down the rules, please make sure you write one word. Aim is to discuss the matter. The ultimate aim is to discuss. So now let's read the passage which you already read the question about, like the school code. The first part, promoting the school code. Dear parents, please start.
Okay. Dear parents, on behalf of my staff and governors, I would like to welcome you to a new academic year. As many of you know, I believe in honesty and teamwork. I would therefore like to ask you whether you will join me in backing a new scheme which I would like to introduce this time. This scheme is called a school code, and it is dynamic way of dealing with some of the antisocial behavior that I admit exists in a school and in most others across the country. The scheme is not new. It has proved highly successful elsewhere. This is how school code works. A team of 6 students aged between 14 to 18.
One second. So from the first paragraph, a couple of positives that we notice. Number 1, it will solve the antisocial behavior of all the students. Whatever the students are doing wrong, whatever the students are involved into wrong things, all of that will be solved if we put this quote into picture. Please make a note or maybe underline it.
Miss, also the scheme is very successful.
Yeah, second point will be the scheme is successful elsewhere. So other schools which have tried this scheme, it has turned out to be successful for them. So it deals with the antisocial behavior of the students. It also is a very successful scheme. Continue next para.
This is how school code works. A team of 6 students aged between 14 to 18 is selected. They are then trained by counselors and youth workers on the rights and responsibilities of young people in society. They attend court trials, interview judges and barristers, and agree to remain unbiased in all circumstances. At the end of the training, the court is in place and ready to make decisions.
So next positive is that all the students who are judges and who are basically going to give their comments in this particular scheme, They are trained by counselors and youth workers. Please underline. They are trained. They are not just random innocent children who are going to take judgments. They are actually trained by counselors and other youth workers.
Miss, also all decisions taken would be unbiased.
Yes, that's the next positive. That the decisions which will be taken are completely unbiased. So even if my friend is involved in this, any such kind of a school crime, maybe he got violent with other children, then also I will punish him. Yeah. Please read.
Our court will be able to hand out sanctions. Students may be asked by the court to make amends by meeting a student or member of staff they have offended. Not only to apologize but also to learn to take full responsibility of their actions. Other sanctions may include anything from helping younger pupils with learning or for cleaning up rubbish and assisting in the canteen. Students who have been disruptive can be represented by teachers.
So here we see that these are the type of punishments these students will be getting. One, help with the cafeteria. Second, clean the classroom. Third, help the younger students. So what do you know understand about the punishments? That they are very productive punishments. Like students will gain something out of these punishments. Please underline them as merit. Also, they will be made to apologize. Whatever wrong they have done, they have to apologize. So that's again a good part of the quote. Continue.
No one knows teenagers better than teenagers themselves. Only they understand the problem a teenager faces at home and at school. So why shouldn't they have a say in what happens to those students who disrupt the harmony of our school community? I look forward to your comments. Your regards, P. Rodriguez, BA.
Another merit, please underline. Teenagers can understand teenagers. See, if a teacher punishes me or a principal punishes me, I'll take it very offensively. But my own best friend punishes me, I'll take it productively. So teenagers understand teenagers. Please underline that part.
Miss, there are no demerits.
Demerits is in the second passage. This was the
Acha.
passage with full of merits. Now coming to the second passage, which is completely full of demerits.
Yes.
Jasmine and
Jasmine
Sergio,
and-
who are both 16 years old, meet and discuss their reactions to the recent letter Mrs. Rodriguez sent to the parents. Did your parents read that letter from the head teacher last night?
Oh, yeah. There was nearly a full scale argument about it. I can tell you.
Well, there is no way my parents will agree to this school code thingy. My mother says it's a kind of a discrimination, as some students are better than others. It's going to cause a lot of problems at school, and that's for sure. Please underline. This creates discrimination. Like some children get this, whereas some children never get an opportunity to become judges. Please underline discrimination. That's a negative point.
Yes, miss.
Next.
I thought like that at first until my dad pointed out that teenagers listening and understanding other teens has to be a good way forward, especially if the old ways aren't working.
So another negative point that none of the ways are working. Even the olden ways of punishing children are not working.
Who's going to listen to or accept some goody-goody decision about what punishment we should be given when they are the same age as us and in the same classes? Not me, that's for sure.
Okay, so next thing we see that the good part over here is that of course the teenagers are going to understand teenagers, but the negative part is, will you ever take your best friend seriously? Imagine your best friend gives you a punishment. Will you take that seriously? No, you won't. So that is the negative part. That if some of the child who is of my own age gives me a punishment, I'm not going to follow it. You tell me go and clean the classroom. This is what was the problem will be. That people will not take clean. Continue.
Well, we read about the teen codes in America in our communication lessons, and we were all amazed at just how effective they are. Bad behavior has practically been stamped out in many of the schools there, and a survey of the students attending showed that there is a happier environment and school grades improved too.
So there are these three positives if you notice. Bad behavior was controlled, grades increased, and environment became happier. Please underline as positives. Mama says that it's just a new idea that is doomed to failure. My dad shocked us both by saying we should give it a try. Typical. So please write over there that some parents still feel it's going to be a negative idea, some feels it's going to be positive. So there's a mixed review. Continue.
Why not give the school court a chance, Jasmine? After all, it's just an idea. How, and let's face it. At the moment, troublemakers are only being suspended for a couple of days, and
that doesn't work at our school. So next thing
yes,
is that when a teacher suspends, people really, after that also they do things which are bad. Okay, but when a student is helping another student, automatically people become more comfortable with that kind of a punishment. Last one, as long as everything is run fairly and nobody starts acting as if they are better than us. Another negative, some teenagers might act like, I'm better and you are worst. That's another negative. I suppose I'll give it a try. You can be quite convincing when you want to be. Over. So you understood what are the positives and the negatives.
yes,
First,
miss.
write the intro paragraph. Intro paragraph will be about what is a school code. Just that much. Big changes are on the horizon, our fellow students. A very big change is going to come into our school. That's called a school code, and then give the definition of it. So in the intro paragraph, just define and understand the concept. I'll give you 5 minutes to write 25 to 30 words.
Miss, title.
All right, order.